how much I admire what you all do. It's absolutely inspiring, and many of us who are not homeschooling, are considering getting into it, because not only the wonderful results that you all have produced, and you've really been pioneers, but because we are, as Mike has said, in the middle of a complete federal takeover of education. And some of you may remember, as Mike has said, this is not the first run at it. It was attempted in the 90s under the Clinton administration. And I'm sorry to report, it's back. It's back with a vengeance, and it's all but complete. When I first found out about this in the fall of 2011, as Mike has said, my children were in a Catholic parochial school, and although I had known about this issue and studied it for close to a decade, I had absolutely no idea that Indiana had adopted Common Core national standards, as well as 45 other states, for English and math. Social studies and science will be coming. They learned in the 90s those were very controversial subjects, which is why they did not start with them. But the way it came to my attention was when my child brought home some fuzzy math. And I don't know if you've all heard that term, I'm sure you probably have, but it's sort of the new math of the 70s that was such a failure and thrown out, and is part of the reason John Saxon created his wonderful Saxon math books in the first place. So when my third grader came home and I looked at the papers and had absolutely no idea what she was supposed to do, no idea the odd methods that were being employed, I and many other parents went to our principal. And he quickly called in the publisher of the new textbook, Pearson Publishing Company, who came and enlightened us that we were so lucky because we had one of the very first Common Core line textbooks in the country. And when parents still weren't satisfied and were demanding traditional mathematics, we wanted to see arithmetic, which had pretty much vanished. He threw up his hand and said, look, I know parents don't like this type of math because none of us were taught math this way, but we have to teach it this way because this is how it's going to be on the new PARCC assessment. And that is the federally funded test that is to replace ISTEP. It was to be in 2014, but thanks to Senator Cruz and the other legislators who heard our cry during this past session, it's going to be delayed until at least 2016, and we hope it'll never get here. But again, I was really shocked when I started to look into it. I was shocked that I had absolutely no idea, and of course the first thing I did was I Googled, and I couldn't find any articles. It wasn't reported on in the paper. I contacted my legislator, who knew virtually nothing about it, and it wasn't his fault. He sits on the Senate Education Committee even, but it simply didn't go before our legislature. It was decided quickly and quietly by our unelected State Board of Education with no debate, no discussion, and as Micah mentioned, no cost analysis. So, when a parent has a concern and the answer they get is, well, you're going to have to go outside the state of Indiana because these standards are now owned and copyrighted by private trade associations in Washington, D.C., that doesn't sit well. That is a complete, the opposite of what America was founded upon, education, and what, the problem with the child in the classroom. The parent and the teacher and those closest to the child should be the ones with the solution. Now, that has been moved outside of the reach, the grasp, to unelected, unnamed bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. But that's not, the worst of it. The worst of it is that Common Core standards are really just a part of an entire system. It's part of an entire system that is based on a radical shift of what American education is. We've always known it to be a liberal arts-based, education has been liberal arts-based with the goal of educating the child so that they could reach their God-given potential. And really what Common Core represents is a movement towards a utilitarian approach, like they have in countries like Germany, where students aren't really educated, they're trained. They're trained for specific jobs demanded by the workforce. They are essentially cogs in the wheel. And that is why you've heard some say Common Core is they're dumbed down standards, and they are. But it's the idea that to overeducate a child is a waste of government resources. There's no reason for someone who they've pegged based on how they performed on a test score in possibly 8th grade, there's no reason for them to read Shakespeare or Dickens or any of the great classics. That's a waste of resources. So there's much more at stake, and I won't go into all of the problems with Common Core, but I want to say thank you to all of you who've taken the time to get involved, to listen, and to research. I want to thank Debbie, who's put a lot out on the IHAE website about Common Core, because what we've done here in Indiana, simply through the facts and the truth being unleashed, is we've become the leaders of the nation. Now we have 19 states pushing back legislation in 9, and it's been, now there's articles pretty much every day. But when we first started talking about Common Core, we couldn't even get the Indianapolis Star to cover it at all. So in the last year and a half, a lot has changed, and that's because there's so much truth on our side, and research and information, and because it's driven by the passion of parents who care deeply for their children, and whether they're going to decide what goes into the hearts and minds of their children and ultimately their future. And I just want to end by also pointing out, I think there's handouts, but the reason many of you should be concerned, and I appreciate you taking a look at this issue, and you may think, well, we homeschool, it doesn't affect us. But ultimately it will, because this is, as I said, it's a big system. It's a system of data collection and centrally planned workforce. And every child will ultimately be in it. Right now, what you're seeing is those of us in private schools that have agreed to accept the vouchers, the Catholic schools, are really, we're hearing about choice, but what we're seeing is a movement away from choice. All schools are being herded into the same Common Core straitjacket. So if this isn't stopped, you may wake up in a decade and homeschoolers will be the only ones getting anything different than anyone else, getting anything that's a true education. And then it may be too late to fight. So the time to fight is now. Indiana is the state to fight it in. Like we've said, there's a pause bill, there's a timeout. It's like Obamacare, that's why it's being called Obama Core, because it involves massive amounts of data collection. They want ultimately like 400 points of data on individual students. And as you may know, under the Obama administration, the FERPA laws have been changed. So they no longer need the parents' consent or knowledge to release that personally identifiable information. And Glenn Beck and Michelle Malkin have done a lot of articles and research on that aspect of it. But the time to fight is now, and because we have this opportunity, and all eyes are on Indiana, we are literally being written about in the Wall Street Journal, National Review Online, as being the leaders of the nation. And what happens in Indiana will have a huge impact on what happens everywhere else. Because it's been said often, if one state pulls out, the whole thing will unravel. Many others will follow. They're right on the brink. So we have this pause, and what we have in the legislation is a series of summer study committees. There'll be 3 at the State House. We don't know the exact dates. We're thinking maybe September-ish, between September and November. There'll be 3 legislative study committees, and then our State Board of Education also is called to review the standards and take a second look at this issue. And on that point, I'd like to encourage all of you to make your views known to Governor Mike Pence. He signed the pause legislation, which we were extremely grateful for, by putting his stamp of approval on it. But the most important thing that can happen is he has 6 appointments to the 10-person State Board of Education coming up at the end of this month, the end of June. So who he picks will in large part determine the future of which direction Indiana goes. Our last governor, Mitch Daniels, dragged us into this mess with his unappointed State Board of Education, without the legislature's stamp of approval. And our current governor could very well appoint people who'd like to lead Indiana in a different direction. And we hope he'll provide that leadership to them and appoint people that are open-minded to getting Indiana out of the Common Core. But as I said, these study committees are important. There's only 3, and your presence there, anyone you know that has time to go and listen to these hearings, I think it'll not only be educational, but ultimately it'll be beneficial to your future, to your ability to protect your right to homeschool. Because I promise you, if Common Core proceeds and the entire country is on a one-size-fits-all, top-down system controlled by unelected bureaucrats, unaccountable to the people, they will come for the homeschoolers. and you will be standing in a much different position than you are now. So I think the time is short, the stakes are high, but we have a lot on our side. Just the simple fact that we've gotten as far as we have without the help of the media, against all odds. There was over $100,000 spent on commercials trying to kill a bill that simply called for a public review. So I thank you again for all you've done, and that you'll continue to stay engaged and visit our website, Hoosiers Against Common Core, and visit the IAHE website and spread the word, because it's a very important issue to all of us and to our children and our future of America. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. I'm that other goofball that was in that video, and Micah was not the goofball. And if you wouldn't mind giving Micah a round of applause for all the help he does.